Good evening, John. How are you?
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's
Oh.
great. So, how far along are you in your service?
So I'm about almost 6 years now.
Okay,
So
awesome.
yeah. And then as far as my major, I'm about halfway through. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, hey, I appreciate your service and your sacrifice, man. I really
Oh,
do.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate
Much
it.
appreciated. I'll tell you what. Why don't we just go on for time's sake and get started? And that way, I won't keep you too long.
Okay.
So I just want to say one thing real quick, just to give you an understanding of who I am. I'm sure you may have taken a look at my bio or what have you, but in short, and I'm doing this for the purpose of the video as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been teaching at UMGC since 1999, so about 23 years. I also teach at College Park as well. I'm a full-time faculty there. And I teach at the John Hopkins Carey Business School as an adjunct there. I started actually last year. So that's mostly global students. And I also run a public speaking business. So I work with Fortune 1000 companies as well as government, colleges and universities and things of that nature. So I share this with you, and I'm also a UMGC graduate as well. I did my undergrad 19 a little while back. So I understand the UMGC story, if you will, where it was UMUC then. I think you probably started when it was as well, right? Yeah. So I'm glad that we did that branding change, because I don't think anyone of this modern era remember what a UMUC was or is. So this is great branding, because a lot of other universities are doing it. Penn State, Purdue, global campus, and this is more definitely befitting in carrying the University of Maryland brand as well. So that's kind of the long and short about myself. Now, I did ask you a few questions in terms of when you got started. So why are you, aside from, I don't know, maybe an elective or whatever, why are you taking a communication class?
Well, the communications class is part of my major. So
Okay.
that was one of the reasons. Well, if I were to tell you, this is exactly why I'm taking the class, right? But if I were to say, like, what do I hope to get out of the class? You could say that I hope to get out just whatever else I have remaining, as far as being able to communicate from a professional standpoint, and going out there and communicating to live audiences and other such folks, because I've done quite a bit of that already. I was in performing arts for quite a while, and then I don't know if you'd gotten a chance to see my intro yet, but I plan on launching a YouTube channel for freelance video journalism. And then basically I just plan on going around and interviewing people who I find who are experts in fields which I'm curious about, that being politics, government, science, religion, all those different things. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I hope to get a little bit more knowledge as far as good communication tactics and strategy from this course, if it's something that I can improve on.
Okay, great. Oh, I like that ambition. Oh yeah, I can
Thanks.
I envision seeing you around then. Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great. Well, let's go over a few things, and I won't keep you too long. I'm pretty sure I'm probably standing between you and dinner. I don't know, but but the best way to reach me is via Ask the Professor or email. And if you're going to go the email route, make sure that you include the in the subject line speech 100, and that will help me identify it easier because I get a lot of emails, especially teaching at 3 universities and business stuff, and let alone all kind of other stuff that I probably don't need. um, and I'll do the best I can to get to you within 24 hours. Okay. Um, so now my expectations for the course, I'm a stickler for deadlines, you know, making your deadlines and getting things in on time. Now I know some students, I don't know, maybe it's just the thrill of it. They like to let's say cut it close or whatever. But we know in this world called the internet and networking and things of that nature, networks can get a little slow. You know what I mean? Things can happen. Situations come up, people forget or whatever. And I'm pretty sure a lot of that in the area that you're in really is not acceptable. Yeah. So we live in a world of either you get it done or you don't, bottom line. So I'm pretty much a stickler for that. Now, if you haven't already, I encourage you to take a review of the syllabus. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Now, you're going to have presentation videos coming up, i.e. this particular elevator pitch, okay? And just like the other ones, the informative brief and the persuasive talk, I strongly encourage everyone to post a link, not upload a file. If you record it, let's say in Vimeo or YouTube, I think there's a section in there on that's called share, and you can turn it into a link. And all you have to do is copy and paste that link in the grade book. Now make sure that you post it in the grade book, even if you post it in the discussions, which there is a section that you will have to post in the discussions for peer review from your classmates. That's not where I will go look. Post it in the assignment folder. And I can tell you the very first thing that I will look for, amongst other things, is if you are within the time range. So this particular thing called elevator pitch, it is 1 to 2 minutes. And the reason why an elevator pitch is 1 to 2 minutes, which is kind of on the long side still, but for the assignment purposes, I made it 1 to 2 minutes. Make sure that you stay within the time. I will take points off if you're under or over the time. Ain't got no reason not to. You're doing it remotely. You can time yourself. Also, I posted in the student lounge a gentleman who did his elevator pitch. So you can review that and look at what he did as well as an example. So it's a video posted in the student lounge. Now, let me show you, let me share with you something, and then we can keep it moving here. Here we go. Share screen. That. Boom. Can you see that okay? Cool. All right. So let's go over this. And let me give you a little history on this thing called elevator pitch, because this will probably be your most important presentation. And the reason why, well, most important presentation beyond this class. Anyone who wants to achieve opportunities for themselves, you're going to meet people. You're going to build your network. And oftentimes that will involve an introduction of yourself or marketing yourself. And these opportunities can come in, most of the time, informal kind of ways, not just like a formal situation like a scheduled interview or something like that. You think about your dream opportunity, your organization, and think about that particular person who can help you get from here to there. Now, here's the scenario. That person, let's just say you happen to run into him or her. Let's say in a Starbucks, you bump into them. Do you approach them, or do you let that opportunity go right out the door with their latte? Well, if you choose to approach them, you got to know how to introduce yourself. And you need to know how to introduce yourself in a very short period of time. So this is where the elevator pitch comes in, and everyone should have a personal elevator pitch. I have a personal and a business elevator pitch. So let's take a deeper dive into this. Bottom line, this is basically a 1 to 2 minute soundbite that explains to people who you are, what you do, and what kind of position you are seeking. And the bottom line is, the idea is that you can deliver where this comes from, your introduction, in the amount of time it takes an elevator to get to the top floor. It's kind of a Wall Street term, if you will, okay? You meet that person in the corporate office, it's that executive, you want to talk to him or her, you want to introduce yourself before they go to their office, and you got to say something that catches their attention. Make sense? Okay, so this is arguably, as I shared earlier, your most important marketing tool, because it's often the first thing that people learn about you. And this can be done virtually, or most of the times, like I said, it can be done face-to-face, or as I like to call, hand-to-hand combat. It's always, that's the best networking, always, as opposed to just floating the information out in the, resumes and stuff like that, meeting people. Okay, so here's how the sausage is made, as they say. These are the components of an elevator pitch. You're talking about who you are. And just so you know, I'll post this. This will post in the announcement if it's not already there, this particular visual aid. Who you are, plus your credential. So you're going to lead, posture, handshake, eye contact, and share with your name, nice smile, and something that differentiates you. What are you majoring in? Are you an athlete? Are you a veteran like yourself? Anything that establishes a relationship. You know what I mean? About you. Next, what's your specific goal or career interest? Or as I like to say, what do you want to be when you grow up? This allows the person to help you or connect you with someone who can help you. You know what I mean? Oftentimes, people might not have something directly, but they may know someone who does. And I'll use my Johns Hopkins experience as an example. When I sent my information out to one individual, he forwarded it to the dean of one of the colleges there. Guy, we set up a virtual, we talked, he liked me, got the job, boom. And it works like that. Um, well, let me say it like this. It can work like that. Okay, so how have you demonstrated your interest? So you tell a little story. How did I get interested in this? Just like the field that you're in. How did you get interested in the field that you're in? And you can give examples, like instead of saying, hey, well, I always wanted to do what I'm doing, want to do, but maybe something tangible like I've taken courses in this, or I volunteered in this, or I had an internship. You understand? And then this is the most important part of this whole pitch. Why are you qualified? Or as I like to call it, the UVP, unique value proposition. You're demonstrating your qualifications now by sharing any leadership, work experience, achievements, expertise, skills, and strengths about yourself. This is when you really brag about yourself. Now, what a lot of people tend to do, they tend to leave off what they did in K through 12. Like, for instance, there are people who were Eagle Scouts, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. And they left that off the table, which is really something worth bragging about. Or freaking quarterback for the their football team, or the captain of the soccer team or lacrosse team. Don't leave that off, because that's leadership. That's how that translates. You understand? So, and then tying all of that experience and awesomeness about yourself, you package it and tell me, share with me what you can do for me or how you can help my organization. I can be beneficial to your organization because no one will hire you unless you can convince them that you can solve their problems. That's the number one reason why people get hired or don't get hired. Well, there are other reasons too, but that's a huge one. And last, ask for a meeting. May I schedule a follow-up meeting with you on Monday at 8:00 a.m. And yes, I'll even bring the freaking donuts. Boom. Do not ask the person who have the opportunity to call you. You call them. You offer to reach out to them. Any questions on what I just shared with you?
Yes, sir. It's a quick question. So when we're doing the video, we're going to include that last bit as though we were talking to an executive?
Whomever it is, let's say in your field, whoever, let's say the top person, and you run into him or her, you're role playing. And yes, you're talking to that person.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, so here's the pitch. Now, all I'm asking for, that is if you want an A, you take this pitch, you internalize it, you can massage it a little bit, as long as I can recognize 90% of it, and give it back to me. Okay? Now, if you really want to amp it up a notch, when you record yourself preferably standing. And I'll show you some of the things I'm looking for. I posted them in the announcements, but I think it's worth going over because I know from doing this since 1999, some people don't read. So I'm gonna, just go through those real quick with you. But anyway, here's the pitch. Hello, my name is Jim Golden. I am and I have been completed a degree at the University of Maryland Global Campus, with a minor in, if that exists. I am interested in a career or a position in the field of whatever. I've been involved in college or in high school or in the service and I've developed skills, such as, leadership, um, marketing, communication, one or all. I've also had an internship. If you did, that's cool. If you did not, maybe you were a part of something else as a whatever with whatever organization. While at that organization, I've developed a solution, if you did, or led a team that did what? I believe I can be beneficial to your organization because I've developed leadership skills, communication skills, teamwork skills, empathy, all of that good stuff. May I contact you to schedule a brief follow-up meeting and suggest a specific day and time? That's it. That's the script. And like I said, I will post this and you and your classmates will have this. And all you have to do is just give that back to me and I will be more than happy to give you an A. Let's just get right to it. I will shuffle A's to my students like a Las Vegas dealer shuffling cards. That's if they do what they're supposed to do. Comments or questions on that?
Yes, sir. Just one. So for that first part where it says, hello, my name is, and then oh, sorry. I just reread the text again. I was just saying, I didn't realize that it had said, I am completing my degree. I thought it just said completed. So I was going to ask, like, are we pretending like we completed it or not? But I just reread it. So it's all good.
That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, let me show you something else here. I appreciate you. All right. Here we go. All right. Okay. Can you see this okay? Cool. All right. Before I go into this, just want to draw your attention to carefully, painstakingly put every assignment, the period of time when it's due and everything right there in the announcements. So, no one can miss it. All right. They all are here. All of the assignments from the beginning to the end. Or as my grandma used to say, from the rooter to the tutor. From the front to the back. All right. So, here's some things that I will be grading you on. Again, please post your video link in assignment versus uploading a file. Why do I not like uploading a file? People still do that? But anyway, oftentimes files can get large, video files can get large. And I know some students, they like to cut it close, like 10 minutes before the assignment due. And it's uploading and network speeds vary. You know what I mean? I've heard it all. Oh my God, my network crashed. Oh goodness, the dog ate the Wi-Fi signal. I've heard it all, but things happen. So if you take care of that early, copy paste the link, you're good. All right, next thing, number 2, stay within the speaking time of 1 to 2 minutes. This just for this elevator pitch, but all the other assignments as well. Follow the script, please. Like I said, and I put it in bold. Feel free to modify the script only 10% and apply it to your current situation. I'm okay with that. But and have a conversation. I'm not impressed with the fact that someone learned the script and they're standing up like a freaking Macy's mannequin and just regurgitating it back to me. Have a conversation. Like I said, role play, verbal delivery. Did you learn your talk? Versus just sitting there and reading. Ooh, I do not like that. I do not like that. I mean, as soon as I see that, I start cringing. And I say to myself, be objective, be objective, be objective. But I do not like that. voice variation, pitch and volume, nonverbal delivery. Standing is preferred versus sitting. Now, I understand certain rooms dictate certain things, but if you can, stand. And again, take a look at that video that I posted. And are you delivering what I call consistent eye contact? Making eye contact with the camera. In other words, that's the person you're talking to. Good posture, standing, or God forbid, if you have to sit, at least stand up. You know what I mean? Don't sit back like you making a 1970s love video. We used to listen to the R&B videos, songs, slow songs and stuff, and the guys just sit back like they all cool and everything. No, that's not what this is. And gestures as well. Eye contact, smile, hands. Okay. Now, if warranted, I will share recommendations, any recommendations for improvement for the next elevator pitch. Okay. And so, we go from there. Now, if you're having a problem posting the link, you can also post your script in the assignment folder as well. Now, as I said before, Tuesday, June 28th by 11:59 Eastern time. Get it in on time. All right. Any comments or anything I just shared with that?
Yes, sir. Do you want the script and the video, or just the video if we have the video?
Well, you can post the link, but sometimes I don't know if they fixed it, but sometimes there's a problem with posting the link in the gradebook. But you can try that route first. If it doesn't, usually if you upload your script, be it Word or PDF or whatever, and put it in, that can work too. But I like to have it separate thing, and make sure that you set the security settings. So all I have to do is just click and view. All right. So that's that. Any other questions on? Okay, cool. All right. The road ahead. Tonight, we have got quiz 1 that's due. If you've already done it, no problem. The academic integrity pledge, that's due 11:59 by 11:59 this evening. Quiz 2 is due the same night as the elevator pitch. So make sure that you get that in. And then again, like I said, it's all due dates and everything is listed over here in the announcement folders. Now, our next virtual session is scheduled for Tuesday, July 12th at 7:00 p.m. And this is where we will talk about your informative briefs. Any comments or questions? Or as my grad school professor, UMGC that is, used to say, anybody give a damn?
So I just had one more question. That's okay.
Oh, please ask as many as you want, sir.
Yes, sir. I know we just talked about the elevator pitch only today, but I did have a question as far as the persuasive and the informative videos that we got. When we do the informative brief and the persuasive speech, do they have to be on the same subject, or can they be on separate subjects?
That's a very good question. I would like for you to, in fact, I kind of knew you were going to ask that question. That's why I scrolled up here. And this is, and I posted this in week 1. And need some expectations for those upcoming presentations. Select an original topic for both. Yeah, select an original topic for both.
I gotcha. The reason why I'm asking is because I read that in my brain, it seems rather ambiguous. I'm sure you could probably explain it a little bit more thoroughly. When I read select an original topic for both, I can read it being either way. So
Okay.
that's what I was like, is it like original for this one and an original for this one, or is it an original one that they both share?
Well,
That's why I was like,
I can reword it. I can reword it and say different. I'll
that's why I
reword.
was like, I
Okay.
could go
Yeah.
both ways.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can reword that and make it to say different. So let's
Okay.
just say, and I give you an example. One of the best informative talks that I saw from one of my students. Um, he talked about how to, and we'll get into the details of informative presentations, but he talked about how to make the perfect steak. And it was a demonstration, which is one aspect of informative presentation. And dude had his kitchen set up, had the camera and everything, you know how they show on TV and stuff. And he was cooking the steak and everything and had him a glass of scotch. And I wanted to come over to his house. And, so he talked about how to make the perfect steak. The next talk, he talked about how to select the perfect wine for that steak.
Hmm.
Yeah. And he gave a detail on, the wine region and the grapes and everything. And this was his persuasive, and he was persuading you to consider this, because he said, a lot of people don't know a lot about the details of wine and why they pair in certain things and things of that nature. So he turned that into a persuasive thing. He stayed in the food category, but it was two different topics, which I thought was really kind of brilliant, really.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and this is why I put point number one here. I encourage everybody to select a topic that on something that you're really passionate about. I mean, why why pick something? Why pick something you don't know anything about? You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not gonna come up here and give you no talk on astrophysics. The only thing I know about astrophysics is Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna talk to you about astrophysics, but there are other things that I'm passionate about. You know what I mean? Like cooking. I guess that's why his topic resonated with me, and wine. And I can appreciate a good bourbon. uh, but so pick something that's passionate to you. Now, again, stay within the speaking time. Okay, stay within that speaking time. I'm really stickler on that. And because when you don't do that, you're throwing points out the window. You're just throwing points out the window. But also, too, talking about what you want to get into. And I'm sure you can appreciate this being on the other side of it. Nobody likes to listen to a presentation that just goes on and on and on. You know what I mean? I mean, really, we have short attention spans. The average TED talk is 20 minutes or less. And that's scientifically done that way because we have short attention spans. So develop the habit of staying within the time that's given. I always ask people who ask me to give a presentation, how long do you want me to speak? So if you say 20 minutes, you got 19. But the only way you can do that is to practice. Again, check your security settings. We talked about the submissions. I do not like it. People just sit and read. And I can tell if you're reading. Trust me, I've been doing this a lot. I can tell if a person reading, some folks try to be slick, but they always give themselves away. Add a little dynamism to your talk, low energy, engagement, enthusiasm, and passion. That always gets people attention. People like that. You know what I mean? And gestures as possible, the consistent eye contact, hand, all of that good stuff. Oh, and another thing, now this won't apply to your elevator pitch, but we'll talk about this a little bit more. Orally cite your sources during your presentation. These give presentations much more credibility when you can say, hey, according to the Wall Street Journal, or according to the New York Times or Washington Post or whatever, because people this day and age, they'll look that stuff up to see if you're telling them the truth. And that's tied to your credibility. Last, with the persuasive talk, it is the expectation, and I'll talk more in detail about that, that you provide an argument and a counter argument. So if you're taking a position, let's say on global warming, well, there are some people who don't believe that global warming is a thing, but you have to mention the fact that there are those in XYZ organization that don't believe that it is. So I know I threw a lot at you, and some of this I didn't intend to for the evening, but since you asked me about informative, and since it's just you get all the good stuff.
Lovely.
Yeah, how about that? So as I shared with you, I'm a graduate and alum of UMGC, and so I understand my students. I understand the things that you have to do to make it happen, and you all students come from many different backgrounds, many different situations. I've taught students who were I can remember in the early 2000s in Afghanistan, man, in a freaking tent. You know, every situation. But you know, the beautiful thing about it is you came or you came back and you conquered. You know what I mean? And that's the UMGC story. And that's what I respect in each and every one of you. So I understand your commitments and things of that nature. Nobody said that this thing was going to be easy. You know what I mean? But you can make it happen. I can recall being so tired, falling asleep at a traffic light, driving home, going to the library, falling asleep in the library at work. Have a lunch break at work, you know. But we keep going. We keep going. And you, just talking to you in brief, you have a very, very bright future and some impressive skills.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I did have some that when you're talking about the persuasive speech.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about like how it needs to have that counter argument. First off, you have to have your argument, and you also have to have the counter argument. It kind of reminded me of an educational video I watched once about how the purpose of writing persuasively is not to show people, you know, what you know or how smart you are. The point of writing persuasively is to change how someone thinks. So that makes, yeah, as far as including that counter argument in there, that makes a lot of sense.
Right. Because, you know, oftentimes people have that in their mind, you know, like, oh, right, yeah, global warming, yeah, right. You know what I mean?
Right.
But once you start dropping your facts and sources and stuff and encouraging folks, hey, take a look at it for yourself. You don't have to believe me. You know, these are people who are smarter than both of us, who've written papers and who are out there doing the work, you know. And more times than not, you have an opportunity to persuade someone when you come from that position, and, you know, respectfully acknowledging, whether we agree or not, acknowledging their side too.
Yeah, I've definitely had the best results as far as getting people to consider things from a different perspective by first trying to bring myself to where they are and then working backwards from there. Or at least trying to clarify, like, okay, well, what brings you to that conclusion? Trying to figure out, you know, what went into their thought process to get to get to that point. I've usually found that that's been the best results, because I get all the time. It's like, whoa, well, now that I've been able to clarify what you actually meant by what you said,
Mm-hmm.
it's just easier to go from there.
And you know what? And that's a very good point you made. But also too, with some people, the issue isn't always the issue. Sometimes they just want to be heard.
Also true.
Yeah. Yeah. And once you, hey, I can respect your point of view and give them their respect, okay. You won them over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, so this is good stuff, man. We're gonna have a kick butt time ahead of us, and I'm pretty sure. I think I probably kind of got some folks confused, and that's probably why. But hey, this is good, but it won't happen again. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. But I appreciate you being here, John.
Thank you, sir.
You got a bright future, my man.
Appreciate it.
All right. And as I said, I will post the link to this in the student lounge as well. And don't forget to take a look in the student lounge at that video of one of the earlier students doing the elevator pitch. Any other questions? Okay. All right. Well, you take care of yourself and feel free to reach out, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.